Hey everybody, Barry Johns here, and welcome back to another edition of Studio Talk. Today we're going to talk about Avid's DUC. And what does that stand for? DigiDesign Users Conference. And where does that come from? Well, that's from back in the day before Avid was Avid, when it was called a company called DigiDesign. You know, back in the day when it was actually a really good company managed by really good people who actually cared about its users. But that's not the case today with Avid. But they held on to that old acronym called the DUC, which gets referred to as Duck oftenly by a bunch of idiots who came up with that name, and I don't like that one. Sorry to call you an idiot if you call it that. I don't mean to upset anybody, by the way. But anyway, so what is the purpose of the DUC? Well, you know, it's a place where you're going to go on and get support. Actually, support and actually talk about Avid's products, primarily their audio products. You know, it's not a place where you go talk about Media and Composer, but you do go talk about any audio products, whether that's related to audio and or post. It doesn't really matter. You can find it all there. And so it's about the only place, if you actually need support for Pro Tools or Pro Tools hardware that Avid makes, that's about the only place you're ever likely to get it. You know, trying to actually get a hold of Avid support and get them to actually help you is an undertaking that is not worth trying, okay? So at the end of the day, and I say end of the day a lot, and I'm going to work on stop saying that. I want you guys to start counting that and charge me $5 for every time I do it. I end up owing you $1 million after it's all said and done. But regardless, who makes up the DUC? Well, it's made up of DigiDesign users or Avid users or Pro Tools users, however you want to say it. A lot of people like you and like me, well, used to be me, but I'll talk about that in a second. And so it's usually comprised of the majority of folks that go there are people who enjoy using Pro Tools products, who enjoy talking about them, who enjoy helping people when they're running into certain problems. They're running into certain errors or issues or having whatever kind of things that are giving them problems at the time. That's the place where you go to kind of find out about it. It's also a place if you just want to discuss all things Pro Tools related amongst other users. And of course, you have it made up by a bunch of moderators who have been those are users that have been selected by Avid to moderate the forum. Every forum out there needs moderators. They play a great role in the overall success of that forum, kind of keep people focused and on track. And when people break a few rules, they're the people there to kind of give a slap on the wrist. Sorry to hit your microphone. Didn't mean to make it go bouncy. But you know, those are the folks that are out there to do it. But for the most part, they're not police. For the most part, they're contributors, and people are out there to help folks like you and me out when we're having some problems or need to work through some issues. And I would say for the most part, over the 2 decades that I spent in the DUC, the DigiDesign Users Conference, and I was very active in it for over 2 decades of helping people solve their problems, sometimes having other people help me solve my problems. But I would argue the majority of the time I was in there, I was actually there to help people. And I did help a lot of people. I don't think you'll find anyone out there on that forum that could say that I didn't, okay? And because I enjoy helping people, and that's one of the reasons I make a lot of the videos that I do for folks like you, okay? So, you know, but the moderators out there, for the most part, they're really great people. They're really fantastic people who want to help you solve your problems. And, you know, have there been 1 or 2 power trip moderators on the DUC from time to time? Yes. Were those 1 or 2 involved with me during a certain period of my time, during those 2 very long decades of day in, day out, thousands upon thousands of posts that's clearly there for all to see under the username Barry Johns. If you go to the DUC, you can find all those posts where I helped people, as well as got helped by people, as well as positively talked about Avid products. But yes, there have been a couple of, and this is my opinion only, a couple of bad Apple moderators out there, kind of on a power trip to some degree, but overwhelmingly the vast majority of them are good folks who are trying to do a great job and who actually want to help you. So I encourage everyone who uses Pro Tools products to be a member of the DUC. If I were to rate its effectiveness in helping users, I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. I think it's a great place if you want to talk specifically about Pro Tools related products. It's broken into various categories and subcategories depending on what topic you want to talk about. And just like anything else, it is important to post your posts in the right category so the right people who are going in there can help you solve it, because you have degrees and levels of experience across the gamut, as you should expect in any forum like that, anywhere from people who are just getting started with Pro Tools or people like me who've been using Pro Tools for decades upon decades. I go back to the 90s with mine, and you know what year it is now. That tells you how long I've been a Pro Tools user. There was a stretch in there where I became very critical of Avid. Very critical. And the things that I was upset about, there are even more people today upset about them than there were back then. I was not a lone wolf out there. I was not isolated. Basically, I was not happy when Avid switched to the annual fee that you had to pay to keep Pro Tools up to date, because anybody who knew anything whatsoever about Avid is they're not going to give you support. Okay, up until that point, the only thing compelled you to dig out your wallet and spend more money on the next version of Pro Tools were compelling features that made you want to do that. And many times, and of all of the updates, there's at least quite a handful that were worth the price that they were charging to do the update. But you knew what you were getting and you got something for your money. But once they instituted this pay every year, regardless of whether they come out with something new or not, they promised to give quote unquote service. That was what their selling point was, is they were actually going to provide you service where you could call them up and they would help you solve your problem. Well, we're about a decade past that, and they're still to this day not doing that for the average user. Okay. To this day, I'm not saying you can't get it, but it's nothing like the way they sell, and they've moved well past that as their main marketing strategy. So all of us users back there knew that this so-called, hey, this is the reason that we're going to start charging you annually, whether we give you anything or not. We're going to disguise that as anytime you've got a problem, we're the people you can call. That was the implication back then. Okay. And all of us longtime users knew that was a load of crap. Okay. At the end of the day. And so it was also, they promised they would be giving new features upon new features to make it compelling to pay that extortion amount, which is all it's surmised to from the time it started through today. They only recently started giving you something for that stuff. Okay. And I would argue that some of the things they've done lately are reasonable, and they have been, okay, they've been some good things. Granted, things that have been other DAWs for a long time, but regardless, good things, okay? But for the most part, since its inception, all those years and years and years ago, okay, basically all you got were bug fixes. In other words, they couldn't even remotely get it right out of the gate. They basically shoved it out there to people like you and me, made us suffer through all of the problems, and then tell them what was wrong. And then maybe upon maybe they might get around to actually fixing some of them. Okay. And so that's what they were extorting us for. And people like myself knew the history of that company and knew that they would never deliver on their promises. And to this day, when you look at it across its range from its inception through today, exactly what I criticized them for and said, this is not the right way forward. This is not the path forward. This is a money grab, and that's all it is. This is not fair for those of who have shelled out so many tens of thousands of dollars over those many decades of being Pro Tools users. It is unfair to us. And I argue that's still the case today. But God forbid you ever actually go in Avid's online community and actually criticize them. Every single post, and there weren't that many, okay? Every single post has since been deleted. You cannot find any history of my criticism of anything Avid related during that time period. And this is not like this went on forever. It didn't. It didn't. And I was one of many who were critical, one of many. But they decided to make me, I guess, their poster child, saying, Barry, we don't really care if you've been in the DUC helping people over and over and over again. We don't care that you contributed to the future sales of our products. We don't care that you've actually been our support for so many people, as many other members in the forum have been, and help people through all those difficult spots. We don't care that you have promoted our products by your positive comments throughout decades of comments and posts on the DUC. All you got to do is just criticize us one little bit, even though your criticism was probably the most valid criticism of the time, and we will never let you post in that forum ever, ever again. That's where I am with Avid. You see that right there? That's been in that rack maybe a week. I paid $4,000 for that. It's an Avid product. See that back over there? Now that's a DigiDesign product, but still, that company's product that I proudly use. See that right there? You can't see it. I'm sorry, but you can't see it. That's an Avid product. See that right there? That's an Avid product. All on all of my videos. Help me understand this. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. You're probably looking at me right now saying, you're a freaking idiot for continuing to support that company that's treated you so badly. You've got to be crazy. Why did you do it? There's so many other great options. There's so many other great I/O manufacturers. There's so many other, definitely DAWs that blow the smokes off of Pro Tools. And I agree with you on all of those things, right? Why do I keep doing it? Well, I do it for me. I do it for me because I enjoy using the product. It helps me be creative. You know, we can debate whether or not it does that for you or not. We don't even need to debate that because you use what you use because that's what you like, and I would support that 1,000 times, right? But I love the products, but I'm stuck. That's Pro Tools Ultimate back there. I own Pro Tools Ultimate before I bought that. Now I got 2 copies of Pro Tools Ultimate, okay? I mean, come on. Come on. Why, Avid? Why would you do that to somebody? I'm not talking, I mean, who else have you done that to besides me? Why can't you take any criticism at all? Why is that? Why is it you refuse? I've even in the years since then, and this happened years ago, and I still go to the DUC just to see what's going on. Sometimes if I have an issue and I've not been worked out, I had some with this, and I could actually provide some pretty, I'm sorry to shake the camera, I hit the tripod. But, you know, I could provide some input on this, some lessons learned from that will turn into videos for all of you, because that's probably a more effective way of doing it for those handful of you that have actually bought this interface. And it is a great interface, by the way. I absolutely love it. Okay. But I could still be helping people out there. I do these videos because I want to help people. I don't do it because I'm going to make any money, because I'm really never going to probably make any reasonable money doing this. There's too many people been out there doing this way longer than me. I mean, seriously, I do this because I enjoy doing it. So why would you do that, Avid? Why would you do that? I mean, you know, I would love for somebody from Avid to chime in the comments. I would love for some of the moderators. Actually, I got a moderator in lately that started commenting on all my videos. Took his time to actually remind me he was a moderator. First, I kind of took that back a little bit, like, dude, I'm fine with you talking. Let's talk all day long. But why did you feel the need, knowing who I am, knowing that I was banned from Avid, why did you feel the need to even bring up that you were a moderator? But honestly, at this time, I don't think he actually meant that as any kind of dig or anything. I don't think he meant that. I did initially, but I don't now. So I'm not going to bring up who that is. But, you know, because I want everybody commenting on my videos, because you know what? I want people to read them and learn from them and understand from them. If I can't help somebody, maybe somebody else can. If I can't give a perspective, maybe someone else can. You know, I'm the kind of person, I want to be told if I'm wrong. I want to be slapped on the hand if I've done something wrong. I'll take my penalty. I'll take it. But be fair with me, because I'll always be fair with you. So Avid, why can't you do that? Why couldn't you take the criticism that happened to be valid criticism, that happened to be the vast majority of the Pro Tools users who left you left because of that, but you don't care. You don't care. You never have cared. And I don't get it, but that's the way you've always been. So my rant is over, everybody. I felt like getting this off my chest. I've made several videos about Avid, and I think I hate Avid as a company. This is one of the things, but this is not the main thing that makes me say I hate Avid. I'm not that kind of a person, okay? I just don't like the way they run their business, and I haven't since the day Avid took over, okay? I've not seen any improvement with the exception of the last 18 months. And if you look at all the videos, even when I complain about Avid, I'm also very hopeful and also very encouraging and saying positive things about their products. I just can't stand the company. I wish you'd change. I wish this video could actually make you change, but I'm not stupid. That's not going to happen. All right? You know what? But you owe me an apology. You should let me back into that DUC. You should let me continue to help people. At this point, I don't know if I'd even go or not, but it's the principle of it. I encourage all of you, if you're just curious, go find my name over there. Look me up. Find out. Just see for yourself. See the kind of contribution that I made to that forum over all those decades. I think you'll see, right? So anyway, if you like my videos, all that blah, 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 like, subscribe, notify, I really appreciate it. I really do. But, I'm a little flustered right now, as you can tell. I wanted to get this off my chest. I may not even post this video. I don't know. Maybe I just needed to say it to a camera. But regardless, either way, if I do post this video, you know what I want all of you to do? I want you to have a great day.